Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Wednesday. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're talking about makeup, but we are going to be talking about the makeup that I am using on my best friend's face this coming Saturday for her wedding. I've mentioned a few times on my channel that my best friend is getting married. Well, the day is finally here. It's on Saturday and I'm really excited. I'm very honored to be a part of her bridal party, and I'm super honored that I get to make her flowers and that she asked me to do her makeup for her. I used to do Kate's makeup quite a bit back in the day when we would go out to the clubs and the bars together after college. She definitely trusts me to do a good job, and she's looking for kind of a neutral but slightly amethyst type look. So her colors are like amethyst and emerald for the wedding, and so she wants a slightly purple smoky eye and just for everything else to be a little bit more natural and subdued. Kate is not an over-the-top person at all. She never really has been, but we did a trial run and we kind of went through some things, and we tweaked a couple of things after she wore the makeup for a little bit in terms of selections of colors and stuff. And so today I'm going to share with you what I'm going to use on her face on Saturday. What I don't have here is the foundation that we're going to be using on her, because we actually went to Sephora together and we picked out a Fenty foundation. Unfortunately, I don't remember what the name of it is. It's the one that comes in the more like squeeze tube style with the pump. I'll link it down below. I know what it looks like, so I can go look it up, but I will link that down below. I will also link everything else that I'm using in the description box as well. So if you are interested in achieving a similar kind of fall appropriate or beautiful wedding look, you know where to get all the stuff. So yeah, that's the foundation that she's using. We color matched her, and she's gonna bring that with her on Saturday to the venue. I am gonna be using a primer on her. Kate has more of a dry skin type, so I told her to moisturize really well before we head in to do our hair appointments and stuff. I'm going to be doing her makeup after we both get our hair done at the venue. So I'm going to use the Perfect Canvas from Ren on her. This is just a really great silicone-free primer that helps makeup glide on really beautifully. I used to use this quite a bit in the past. I haven't used it a whole lot lately because I just haven't brought it out for a Shop My Stash, but I'm planning on wearing this myself on Saturday, so it does do a really good job of prolonging the look of your makeup. It also helps with a very poreless, very smooth finish to the skin overall. And when I was in Sephora, I put this primer on my hand and then kind of went over it with the foundation that she selected, and they paired really well together. So I told her not to worry about buying it because she's never going to use the primer, so I'll bring mine. So this is the primer that we're using. In terms of the eye primer, I'm just bringing my Anastasia eye primer. This is really fantastic. This is going to help her shadows not only stay all day, but it's going to help the colors pop quite a bit more. I am a big believer in eye primers for myself because I have really oily eyelids, and this is truly the only way that my eyeshadow actually stays put all day. And with this one, you need so little. It's an amazing primer. It doesn't make my eyes water, which if you tend to have really watery eyes every single day, take a look at the eye primer that you're using. That could be causing it. It took me a long time to figure out why I always had watery eyes. Turns out it was the eye primer that I was using. The Urban Decay did not agree with me. The Lorac eye primer did not agree with me. I also tried some less expensive ones from NYX that didn't agree with my eyes. The NARS eye primer didn't agree with me, but the Too Faced Shadow Insurance and the Anastasia one have never made my eyes water, so there's a couple options for you. In terms of contour and blush, so I am going to be using the Kevyn Aucoin the sculpting powder in the shade Light. So Kate is pretty fair. I would say she's actually more fair than I am. She is not quite porcelain, but also not quite light skin. She's kind of in between the two. So we need a very natural, very light contour powder. She doesn't want a ton of heavy contouring, so this one's gonna be perfect and it's gonna stay put all day. I love the Kevyn Aucoin. I personally have been using the medium, which, take a look at that pan. Honestly, I think that this is, I'm gonna kind of have to give up on this here soon because I'm damaging my brushes trying to get them in, especially for my like cheek contour. So, makes me sad. But I'm happy to repurchase it because it's amazing. For her blush, we landed on Romantic Rose from Laura Geller. This is very, very pretty. Another option that I'm gonna bring with me that is somewhat similar is the Marc Jacobs Flesh and Fantasy. I'm kind of going between these two. The Flesh and Fantasy is just a little bit more nude, which might pair better depending on how dark we go with the smoky eyes. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and bring both with me. For a while there, I was thinking this would be perfect, but I just want the option to have the two. I also don't want to bring like a ton of stuff with me because I'm already going to be bringing a lot of stuff. So that is what we are going to have set aside for blush. For highlight, we're going to be using something fairly natural. I'm going to bring my Ambient lighting powder in Ethereal Light to use on her. This one is just a beautiful, very natural highlight that isn't going to look insane in her pictures. I've seen a lot of brides with like super heavy like highlight in weddings that I've done, and I don't know, I don't think it looks very good. I don't think it looks natural, and I feel like as a bride, you want to look like yourself, but you want to look like a very pretty polished version of yourself. And yeah, this I feel like gives that look. It just adds like a slight glow to the cheekbones rather than like a streak of glitter. You guys know how I feel about Crazy Highlight. I am not using Crazy Highlight on her, and I love this one. So that is what we're using for highlighting. Let's talk about lips. So we are going with a kind of muted plum look. So I'm bringing Mon Ami from Stila, which is actually discontinued, so you can't get this one, but it's just a neutral mauve. And to top it, we're gonna use Gabby from Buxom. So kind of a really pretty plum. These aren't crazy pigmented, but just it'll be a really nice topper for this, and will add just a little bit of glow to the lips. I don't wanna add a lot of gloss because obviously I don't want it to rub off on her fiance, soon-to-be husband, whose name is also Craig, by the way. And fun fact, so on Friday, the 25th, is Craig and my 11-year wedding anniversary, and Kate's wedding is the next day on the 26th, and she's marrying a Craig as well. Totally like unintentional. And Kate was actually the maid of honor in my wedding, so anyway, Kate and I have been best friends since college. We met freshman year of college and then became really good friends our sophomore year, and we've been best friends ever since. So, all right, let's talk about the eyes. First off, for her brows. I did send her a couple months ago to my micro shading expert, who is amazing. I'm actually gonna go see her for a touch-up in November, but I told Kate, I was like, go and see her, she's amazing. So Kate had micro shading done, so her brows are pretty darn perfect, but they do need to be filled in just a little tiny bit to like, get them to show up a little bit better in pictures, because they look very, very natural on her. So I'm bringing the Anastasia Granite Powder Brow Duo. So this one's gonna be perfect for her. Kate has very, very dark hair. So she is very fair, but with very dark hair. So we're probably gonna be using this granite shade more than anything. So just to fill in a little bit and kind of even the color out. For her eyes, all right, so let's do these shadows first. I am bringing this because this is the best possible bridal eyeshadow palette that I could think of. This is the Viseart Grand Pro one. If you do not have this, I talk about it all the time because I really think this is just one of the best palettes to have. So there are some beautiful plum shades in here, obviously kind of in this area right here. So this is kind of where I'm planning on sticking, is with these plums. I also have the option to smoke things out a little bit more with some of these deeper shades over here. But for the most part, I'm thinking we're probably going to be using this shade in the crease, maybe mixed with a little bit of this. They're coming off slightly different on camera than they actually are in person. They are much more amethyst and purple in color. They look a little muddy and brown here. So this palette has been a go-to for me ever since I got my hands on it, and I just absolutely love it. And this is what we used during her trial, and it worked out great. I'm also going to be bringing this. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette in Plum. So there is a shade here called, what is this one called? Define. That's the name of the shade. It's the Define shade here. This I thought would be really pretty in the crease, smoked out just a little bit. It's a beautiful plum. So I figured we could have this to play with just in case we need it. But I have a feeling I have everything that I need from the Grand Pro one from Viseart. And matte shadows I feel like are a must on the day of. When I used to do bridal makeup and boudoir makeup, I never really did shimmer makeup or pearl finishes or anything like that, because they just didn't look right in pictures. And photography is very important to Kate, and I don't want her to look back and be like, ugh, my eyeball was like a disco ball, you know, like she wants a very muted, natural but polished and pretty look, and I think mattes are going to give us that for sure. So she will be doing false lashes. We also picked those out at Sephora. I think they were actually the Sephora brand. I'll link the ones down below, but they look very similar to the lashes that I'm going to be wearing. I told her, you know, something kind of fluffy would be good. So I picked up these faux mink Ardell lashes at TJ Maxx of all places. And she got the Sephora brand, but they're this similar kind of like wispier style. So we got those for her. She has those. She'll bring them with her on Saturday. I need to actually text her and remind her to like put everything in a bag, because Kate's a little bit more forgetful than I am. And I am like type A crazy, like organized person. We balance each other out very nicely. But I also picked up the CoverGirl Exhibitionist waterproof mascara to be able to use a mascara on her before we put on the false lashes. I haven't opened this. I'm actually going to keep it closed. So I'm just going to give her this after the wedding. I don't know that she'll use it again, but I think mascara before you put on your false lashes is important so that they blend into the lashes, especially with the type that we bought for her. So this is going to be perfect and waterproof, because I know she's going to bawl her eyes out. I also have a liquid pen liner. This one is just from Sigma, but you could probably get something like this from NYX. This just helps to blend in the lashes. I will be doing kind of a smoky, powdery, dark purple right along her lash line, but sometimes with false lashes, especially on the inner corner, it helps to have just a little bit of like a sharp finish, or a more precise finish like this pen can give, to extend the look of the band of the false lashes, if that makes sense. I don't want her to look like she's wearing false lashes the day of. Obviously they're going to be a little bit over the top because her normal lashes aren't crazy long to begin with, but you know, I want the false lashes to really blend in with her natural lash line. And this was a trick I used to use in the past as well. So yeah, this one is in the color Wicked, which is just black, but again, any black liquid liner will do. So that's what I'm going to be using on her. I've got clean beauty blenders I'm going to be bringing along with me. I've got a lot of my brushes still from when I had a professional kit, so I've got those washed up and they're actually in the closet behind me in a bag ready to go. And so yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to doing her makeup. I don't actually know what I'm doing for myself quite yet. I'm leaning towards a really neutral eye with the false lashes and then maybe doing a red lip. I never do a red lip, but I think it would look really good with the dress that I bought. But my safety backup is always just a nude. And I feel like probably one of the best kind of nude options would be Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. I don't know, maybe. And I can always just go for, you know, some Dolly, just some gloss and leave it at that. But anyway, we'll see what I end up doing. I always kind of like to decide my makeup the day of, just like depending on how I feel. I will obviously be posting lots of pictures, and I will definitely post a picture of Kate with her makeup all finished on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, it's just MrKongsMom. The information is always down in the description box if you guys want to know where to follow me. So thanks so much for taking the time to tune in. I hope that this was fun. Something a little bit different. But yeah, I'm really excited, and yeah, I'm ready. Ready to get the party started, because it's going to be a really amazing party. I'm super looking forward to it. So, all right, I will see you guys tomorrow for a in-depth skincare review, and then we'll have Friday favorites and flops. So, all right, have a great rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Bye.